Wait a minute, Vaughn. I didn't seduce Courtney.
Don't lie to me, Davidson. You were in that room with her, weren't you?
I was in the room. She asked me to come over.
That is a lie. You went to that room looking for her. And when you found her in Tina Brubaker's
You're wrong,
room,
Vaughn.
you tried to make your move on her. And when she resisted you, you attacked her.
That's not the way it happened. If you just calm down a second, What's the use, huh?
Wait a minute, Davidson. You're not going anywhere. We're going to settle this right now.
Bob and Marion Campbell.
Of Campbell Construction Company?
You and his wife are the biggest bores in the city, or I'd introduce you.
Hey, now come on, you were telling us about your trip to Mallorca. Now, when were you there?
Excuse me, Dr. Graham.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry, but there's a woman seated by the window who would like to know if the other gentleman in your party is the man who was written up in the last issue of Upbeat magazine.
Oh.
Dr. Martin?
Yes, I'm Dr. Martin.
Well, I do apologize, but she requested that I ask you for your autograph. Would you mind?
No, I wouldn't mind. That's
Let
no
me
problem.
pass it to him.
This is not the first time.
I mean, it isn't.
He's getting good at it.
There you go.
Thank you, Doctor.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about that? Ben Martin, boy celebrity.
That's it.
Lori, your husband is getting to be so famous that we should feel flattered that he's even willing to be seen with us.
Oh, hush, Brian.
No, I'm serious. Boy, a write-up in Upbeat magazine. Whew, that's pretty heady stuff.
Yes.
Makes my trip to Mallorca pale in comparison. Tell me the truth, old buddy. How many copies did you buy?
Come on, you're just jealous.
Here, wait a minute.
Hey, Ben. Lori, hi. How are you? Hi. I don't believe you've met Dr. Graham. This is Stacy Phillips. That's Dave's daughter.
Oh, my pleasure.
And Russ Weaver.
Hi, how you doing? Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Brian and I went to medical school together.
Stacy, you look lovely. Thank you. And Ben, I read the article about you in Upbeat.
Yeah, we were just talking about it. Congratulations, superstar.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm afraid Brian here will never let me hear the end of it.
Probably.
Well, don't let your dinner get cold. It was nice to meet you, Dr. Brad
Oh.
Graham.
My pleasure. Good to meet you.
All right.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See you later.
man. Small world, huh? Would you like something to drink before you order? Stacy?
Oh, yeah, I think I'd have a glass of white wine, please.
Why don't you bring us a bottle of Chablis? Very good, sir. Thanks. So what sounds good to you tonight, huh?
Oh, Russ, let's not order right away.
What, you're not hungry?
Oh, no, sure, but I just don't want us to rush through this evening. I want us to relax and enjoy it.
It's fine with me. Just tell me when you're ready to order.
Well, in case you don't know, this happens to be a very special occasion.
It is. How so?
Well, as long as we've known each other and as close as we've been, this is our first official date.
Yeah, I suppose that it is, in a way. Of course, you know, our friendship has been a long-distance one.
Oh, while I was away. Yeah, that was an unhappy time, except for you. Just knowing that you were there, ready to be my friend, made all the difference.
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for that.
Well, that's that part of your life. That's all over now.
I know it is. I have put it behind me, and I am starting a whole new life, and it is going to be wonderful.
Now, that is the way that I like to hear you talk.
Well, it's true. I am just so happy and excited about things because, I don't know, everything just seems to be coming together for me all of a sudden. It's the funniest thing, but I can just feel it happening.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really great. I'm really happy for you. Super.
That means a lot to me, Russ.
You know something, I know how you feel too, because things are starting to happen in my life.
They are.
And, well, some things are starting to come together for me too, actually.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, I've made a decision about my future.
Well, that is why we're celebrating, isn't it? So, don't keep me in suspense. What is it?
I've decided to leave Kingsley.
Get your hand off of me.
I will when I get some answers.
I'll discuss this with you, but not in public, not here, and not now. Later.
Forget later, Davidson. Now.
Vaughn, I'm asking you nice
And
now.
I'm telling you, Davidson, you're not gonna get off that easily. So while you still have your teeth, do some talking.
Hey, what's the matter in here?
Look, just stay out of this.
I don't know who you are, what your beef is, but why don't you just take it outside?
Please, mind your own business, okay? I'll take care of this.
Vaughn, I don't want to have to fight with you.
Yeah, well then just tell me what happened between you and Courtney.
Nothing happened. Nothing.
I don't believe you, Davidson.
Okay, believe whatever you want. I'm telling you the truth.
You went there looking for her, didn't you?
I went there because she asked me to meet her.
That's a lie! You went to that room looking for her, and when you found her alone, you tried to make your move on her. And when she resisted, you tried to take her by force.
I'm not gonna listen to any more of this. You're acting like a fool, Vaughn.
Davidson, I'm going to give you one more chance to tell me the truth.
If you want to know the truth, go ask your wife.
Davidson, I talked to Courtney. She told me the whole story.
Maybe she got some bad information, huh?
Davidson, no one calls my wife a liar and gets away with it.
Thank you.
What did you just say?
I said I'm leaving Kingsley.
You mean you... for good? Permanently?
Mm-hmm.
You can't be serious.
Absolutely serious.
But I mean, I don't understand. I thought that you were planning to stay here, that you thought of Kingsley as your home.
There's nothing here for me, Stace.
Nothing. What about, your job at the clinic?
Well, I don't think that they'll have too much of a problem finding somebody to fill my shoes.
Well, what will you do? Where will you go?
Well, you know, I told you the one thing in the world that I've really always wanted was to go to med school.
Yeah, I remember how disappointed you were when you were turned down by every school you applied to.
Well, I never gave up that dream. Med school down in Mexico City. And they've been very encouraging. As a matter of fact, it's pretty sure that I'm gonna go there next fall, in September.
Pretty sure. Then it's not definite.
Well, no, not yet, but I'm counting on it. As a matter of fact, I'm making plans as if it were.
But even if you are accepted, it won't be until September, so you won't be leaving right away.
Well, I've got a lot of things to do in the meantime.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, the first thing on my agenda is to take an intensive Spanish course. My acceptance is contingent upon me taking a fluency test. I mean, I had a couple years in college, but I think I need a crash refresher course. And I thought that New York City would probably be the best bet for that.
Yeah, that certainly won't take until September.
Well, if I had any time left, I just thought I'd do a little traveling. I really want to go back and see a couple of the old friends from school. Just bum around for a while before I put my nose to the grindstones.
Then you, will be leaving right away.
Yeah. I know it's kind of sudden. I just didn't want to tell anybody anything about it until the thing in Mexico was pretty well sewn up. And with the final hurdle taken care of, thanks to you.
Thanks to me. What did I do?
Well, by going to your father and getting him to release me from that debt to the clinic. If I had to pick up and pay $1.2 million for that Dar es Salaam Bible, there's no way I could have swung this whole thing financially.
This is, such a surprise. I don't know what to say.
Say that you're happy for me. That's one thing I really, really would like to hear.
And when the article was brought to the attention of my colleagues, not by me, I hasten to add, knowing that you're a close personal friend of mine, they wanted me to extend their congratulations. And it's with a genuine pride that I You listen to me. I sound like some pompous old politician making a nominating speech.
And you're probably really embarrassing Ben, but I love it.
Yeah, don't stop. You're doing great.
Like, old buddy, everybody knows how wonderful you are. And the long and the short of all this is that, well, if you're still interested, we've got a place for you on staff at the Bedford Institute. Ken Blakely authorized the position, and he asked me to offer it to you.
Vaughn, for some reason, I'm not gonna fight you.
Why? Why?
Because you're making a big mistake. Now calm down and we'll talk
Really?
about this.
And I believed when you said you weren't going to do anything.
Break it up! Come on, man! On your feet!
Now what's going on here?
He started it. He came in here and he just started yelling at Peter. I could see there was going to be trouble, so I called you.
You got any identification? Driver's license.
Okay, squad car's outside. Let's go down to the station.
Why? Can't we just...
No, we can't, buddy. You're under arrest.
For what?
Disturbing the peace and aggravated assault. Now, come on. Let's go.
You're pretty quiet for a guy who's just been offered a salary that has to be at least triple what you're making now.
No, I want to choose my words carefully.
What's to choose? A simple yes or no will do just fine.
Listen, I'm very flattered that you want me, Brian. Although I have to admit, I kind of suspected the reason for this dinner tonight.
You did.
Yeah, we had considered the possibility, and we also thought about how Ben would respond.
Oh, and I was hoping to surprise you both. Oh, well, that's the breaks. But if you were expecting it, I imagine you've got an answer right on the tip of your tongue.
Well, not quite.
See, what we decided was that if you did make the offer, that we would think about it and discuss it and give you an answer in a week or so.
Uh-huh. Well, tell you what. Just to sweeten the pot a little bit, let's add another $10,000 to that salary.
$10,000 more? Brian, that's not necessary.
No, it isn't. But it is very generous.
Look, old buddy, we really want you on our team.
Well, this does sound like an answer to prayer to me. I mean, what's the use of keeping us both in suspense for a week?
Ben?
Look, honey, I know we talked about taking a little time to think it over, but I really don't think it's necessary. They want me and I want the job, so... Yes, Brian, I accept your offer. Thank you.
Great.
Of course I'm happy for you, Russ, if that's what you really want.
Well, then you do understand why I have to do this?
Does it really matter?
Yeah, of course it matters. It's very important to me that you understand.
Important? Why?
Because we're friends.
Are we really friends?
Stacy, I know that the news I just laid on you wasn't what you were expecting to hear tonight.
Oh, well, what do you mean?
Well, I'm afraid that I think that you were expecting me to make some sort of declaration of feelings.
Oh, well, Russ, that's silly. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, then, maybe I was wrong.
Well, yes, you were, believe me. But if that is what you were thinking, then it seems strange to me that you made such a big deal out of this evening. I mean, considering that that was what you had planned on telling me.
Well, I wanted tonight to be special because you're special. You're very important to me.
I am. I'm really special to you? Do you mean that?
Well, that takes care of the supply room. All recorded and accounted for.
Thanks, Alex. Hey, would you mind finishing up here while I put all this information on one sheet?
Yeah, sounds good.
Good, thank you. Hey, I don't know what I would have done without you tonight. Can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming down here and giving me a hand.
Now, forget it. Taking inventory is a favorite way for bachelors like us to spend an evening, right?
Yeah.
Now, look, you believe that one, Dr. Phillips, and I've I've got a load of watches out in the trunk of the car I'd like to show you.
Not in the market, thanks.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get out of here in time so you can spend the rest of the evening with your fiancée.
You mean Terry?
Who else?
She's not my fiancée, Alex.
Well, I'm assuming it's only a matter of time. Or am I out of line for only just mentioning it? And if I am, you just say so.
Well, it's no secret that we're seeing each other.
And seeing each other exclusively, from what I understand?
True.
Well, that usually leads to marriage, you know.
So I've heard.
Dave, I'd like to ask you a question.
Well, sure, go ahead.
Well, it's kind of personal, so you don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
Go on.
Dave, you are serious about Terry, aren't you? I mean, you're not just stringing her along.
No, Alex, I'm very serious. In fact, I'm very much in love with her.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that, Dave.
Why?
Well, I think you know how I feel about Terry.
Well, I know you spent some time together after Scott's death.
She's a beautiful Christian woman, Dave.
Yes, she is.
And I grew to have a great deal of respect and admiration for her, as well as affection, and I just hate to see her hurt.
Believe me, Alex, I have no intention of hurting her. I love her very much.
And I think she returns your feelings.
Yes, I think she does.
Well, then what are you waiting for? Why haven't you asked her to marry you?
Did you mean what you just said? About me being special to you?
Of course I did. As a friend. But not...
Yes, go on, but not what?
Oh, man. I am really making a mess out of this.
But not what? What were you going to say?
You are special to me, Stacy. But I'm not in love with you.
Oh, well, whoever said I wanted you to be? I never said you were.
I know what you're thinking. And I owe you an apology. I never thought that you would take our friendship as anything more than just that, our friendship. And somehow, you got the idea that I wanted something more serious.
Well, that's not true. I don't know where you ever got such an idea.
Something that Gil told me.
Gil Prescott? What does he know about it?
Something that he heard from Peter Davidson.
Russ, I have not had a real conversation with Peter Davidson in I don't know how long. And I certainly never said anything to him about our relationship, yours and mine.
But you did talk to his mother.
Terry.
Look, the only reason that Gil told me was because he was
Now, wait a
concerned
minute.
for you.
Just exactly what did he say? What did Peter tell Gil?
He told him about a poem that you had written about me.
Poem?
And about your feelings towards me. How he had thought that you were falling in love with me.
I cannot believe this. Terry Davidson had no right to interpret our conversation that way, or to repeat it to anyone else.
Hey, there's no reason to be embarrassed over this. Are you kidding me? I am flattered. I'm absolutely floored that you would even think that
Russ,
about me.
I would like to go home, please.
Stacy, wait a minute. Now, come on.
I want to go home now. You can take me, or I can call a cab.
In honor of a very special occasion, Ben, a toast to a long and happy association between you and the Bedford Institute. Well, that's good to have you on board, old buddy.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Well, that goes double for me. You know, you made a wise decision, and I promise that you won't regret it.
No, I'm sure I won't.
Neither will you, Lori. But you have just as much cause to be celebrating as Ben does. From now on, it's a good life for both of you. Your dilemma's over. A new career for Ben, without relocating for you. Excuse me, there's someone I need to speak to. I'll be right back.
Sure. Take your time. You're not being very polite. You could at least be a little enthusiastic about this.
Ben, I thought we agreed that you weren't going to give Brian an answer until you'd thought about this for a few days.
You know the kind of places I've applied to up till now. None of them can begin to offer the salary that Brian's talking about.
Is that all you're considering in this now? Money?
No, of course not. I'm considering the fact that we'll be staying right here in Kingsley. I thought that was very important to you. Now, am I wrong?
That's not the point.
Laurie, I have been offered a top-notch position with a fine institution doing exactly what I've been trained to do in the kind of job I was hoping for. They're paying me 3 times more than what I'm making now, and we're staying right here in Kingsley. Now, what more do you want?
You promised to do something and you didn't do it.
There's a time to pray and there is a time to act. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Brian's offer solves all of our problems. Why can't you see that?
Look, I'm sorry, Dave. I know it's none of my business.
No, that's all right, Alex, and, well, I can't really give you an answer. All I can say is that I've been praying about it.
Okay, that sounds good enough to me. I thought maybe you just hadn't worked up your courage to ask her yet.
No, it isn't that. But, you know, I want to thank you for bringing it up, Alex. You made me realize that maybe I'm being unfair to Terry.
Terry? Hey, what about the rest of your friends? Now, look, fella, you got to put us out of our misery. The suspense is killing us.
Bradley, did you get a statement from the waitress?
Yes, sir, and from several other witnesses. They all agree the attack was unprovoked and that Davidson made no attempt whatsoever to fight back.
Is that true, Mr. Sumner? He didn't try to hit you? Defend himself?
No, he didn't.
Well, do you have anything to add to Officer Bradley's statement? Anything you'd like to say?
I'd like to make a phone call, if that's all right with you.
Well, yes, that's your right, Officer Bradley. Why don't you escort Mr. Sumner downstairs to make his phone call?
Yes, sir. Follow me.
Peter, I just have a couple of papers I'd like you to sign, and then you're free to
Hold
go.
it, what kind of papers?
Well, I assume you want to press charges. Don't you?